Hi, I'm Hillary Ziegler, a team leader with Usborne Books More, and I am so excited to show you some of my favorite fiction books. One of my family's favorite books is Nibbles the Book Monster. This book is adorable and it's always one of our top sellers. It has a book monster named Nibbles in the front who is trapped in the book, but as you read the story, you learn that he loves to eat books. And so he eats his way through the pages of the book, leaving these neat little bite mark cutouts all throughout the book. And in this original story, he eats his way through 3 fairy tales. So like in Goldilocks and the 3 Bears, he's the one who eats the porridge. He also eats through Little Red Riding Hood and Jack and the Beanstalk and changes up their stories too. At the end of the book, you'll think that you have Nibbles caught, but when you open his cage, you'll see that he has nibbled his way through the back of the book and he is going to eat more books on your bookshelf. Your children will love this laugh out loud, adorable book about Nibbles the Book Monster. For more Nibbles fun, check out our Nibbles plush, Nibbles the Dinosaur Guide, Nibbles and the Monster Hunt, and Nibbles Numbers. Can I Join Your Club is one of my favorite books because this book teaches about empathy and inclusion. In the story, Duck wants to join a club, and so he tries to join Lion Club and Snake Club and Elephant Club, and through all of these clubs, he's denied because he's not like the characters that already started the club. So in the end, Duck feels defeated and left out. But Duck comes up with a good idea. He makes our club, and anytime that someone wants to join, they're approved. In the end, Duck learns that it's more fun to be yourself and include everyone. Jonathan James and the What If Monster is a great book for talking to your kids about anxiety and fear and conquering those fears. So in the story, there's a little boy named Jonathan James who has a what if monster that whispers what ifs in his ears all day long. Like, what if you climb that tree and you fall and get hurt? Or what if you play baseball and you strike out and everyone laughs at you? Or what if you paint a picture and everyone thinks it's really awful? And so all day long he tells them all these really negative things, and it really just paralyzes Jonathan James. Until one day Jonathan says, "Now wait just a minute, I have something to say. After hearing what ifs all through the day, I hear all your worries, I hear all your claims, but what if you're wrong?" says Jonathan James. And then Jonathan turns it all around and he says, what if I'm great at climbing trees and playing baseball? And what if I win first place at art? And this book is awesome because it talks about those anxieties, he conquers them in the end, it has great rhyming text, and it's just a really fun book for starting those conversations with your kids. The Prince, the Witch, the Thief, and the Bears is one of my kids' favorite books because it really makes them laugh. So this book is about a little boy named Jamie who is getting ready for bed, and his dad is telling him a story, but Jamie helps add his own flavor to the story as they're reading. So it starts out, once upon a time, and as they're reading through the story, Jamie asks lots of questions and adds some extra embellishments, and before you know it, there's some really silly things happening. For instance, there are things turning into Jell-O, and there are broccoli ninja fights, which is super fun. My kids think this page is hilarious. And so as you read through the story, you're gonna get to see Jamie's imagination come to life as he tells this funny bedtime story with his dad. A Tale of Two Beasts is one of my favorite books for talking to kids about perspective. In the beginning of the story, you hear about a little girl who finds a strange beast in the woods. And she takes care of the beast, and she feeds him and gives him warm clothes to wear and a nice little house and shows him off to her friends. And then for some odd reason, the beast escapes, and she's pretty sad about it, and thankfully he comes back. And so they're able to be friends. But then when you read the second story, it's all about how the girl is the terrible beast and she stole him, kidnapped him from his home. And she wrapped him up in this really hot fabric and she tried to feed him squirrel food and she put him in this little teeny box with no room. And so the whole thing from his perspective is very interesting. The same things that we accepted in the beginning from the little girl suddenly seem horrible from the perspective of the beast. But in the end, they do become friends and it all works out. So this is a great book for talking to your children about how there are 2 sides to every story. This is Owl is a really fun interactive book. It will have your children actively participating on every single page. So at the beginning, it starts like this. Welcome to the woods. We're here to meet someone very special. Turn the page and I'll introduce you. This is Owl. Owl, wake up. Owl, you're embarrassing me. This is not how we agreed to start the book. Try tickling Owl's tummy to wake Owl up. Tickle, tickle, tickle. No, we need both eyes open, Owl. Your audience is waiting. I know owls are nocturnal. That means Owl is only active during the daytime. Clap 3 times to switch off the sun. So your kids will clap and then it'll be dark. So as you read through the story, you'll have them tapping and clapping and tickling. There are flaps to lift throughout the book. And there are lots of cute little interactive things for your children to do on each page as they read about Owl and his sweet little family. And there's even an interactive plush if you want to actually tickle the stuffed animal and have the stuffed animal flap his wings and things like that. So this book is super cute and very interactive. Where Happiness Lives is one of my favorite books. This book is all about teaching contentment and realizing what a blessing it is to live the life that you live. So this is the story of Gray Mouse, and he lives in a quaint little house that he absolutely loves with his family until one day he looks and he sees a bigger house down the way. And so he walks to the bigger house and meets White Mouse, and he says, "You must be the most happy mouse in the whole world." And White Mouse says, "Well, I was until I saw an even bigger house up on the hill." So they walk there, and when they get to this huge mansion and see all of the amazing things that the house has to offer, they're just feeling pretty badly about themselves. But Brown Mouse is super kind, and she invites them inside, and she shows them all the wonderful things in her house. And they finally go up to the top room, and she shows them her favorite thing to look at through her telescope. And would you believe it happens to be Gray Mouse's house? Gray Mouse cannot believe it. And she says, "It's lonely up here," says the wealthy Brown Mouse, "but it brightens my day just to look at that house. What a treasure it is. Oh, the joy that it gives, for that is a house where true happiness lives." So she has been envious of the happiness that she sees between he and his family. "It's my house," cries Gray Mouse. "Who would have guessed that a mouse in a mansion could think that I'm blessed?" Whatever your home is, it is happy indeed if you love what you have and you have what you need. So this sweet rhyming book with these whimsical illustrations is so perfect for helping your children be content and seeing the blessings that surround them. You can buy the plush of this that your children can snuggle with while you read this story together. This is one of our very favorite books.